By the way, I want to thank you for playing us so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's how do I say this? It's you support me when I play your music. I support you because of your music, right? And
Hmm.
I want to thank you guys for making some killer fucking music.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
I mean that's why I play it because it's good.
Well, and we're all in this together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a person who loves being a radio personality has nothing to do if there isn't great music out there to play. And bands that love what they do, what good is it if there aren't radio stations out there willing to play them?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like we all need each other. And that's why um, if people try to hold other bands back or hold radio stations back or any of that, it's all silly. The world is a big place. There's room for everybody,
Yeah.
but I've always looked at it. I've done interviews on huge radio stations, and I've done interviews with radio stations where it's probably their mom and dad sitting there listening to it, and that's it. And I never turn it down because we're all in this together, and it's like I'm honored if someone asks for an interview from me, I'm honored, and I'm very glad to do it, and I don't care what station they're from or any of it. If they're interested in St. Madness and they want to know a little bit about it, I'm very happy to accommodate them.
Very cool. So you want to talk about the new album a little bit?
Sure. It's funny. The name of the album, which is Bloodlust Capades, I can't even remember what movie I was watching, but I was up at probably 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm one of these strange people that I go to bed at 5 a.m. every morning and I get up at 10 a.m. And then during the day I take about an hour nap, and that's my sleeping schedule. But I've always been a night person. In fact, I was even born at 10:30 at night. But anyway, I was up. The house was quiet, and I'm watching a movie in the bedroom, and out of nowhere, this word bloodlustcapades just came to me, and I was like, it's kind of like the name Saint Madness, which Saint being good and madness being negative, and bloodlustcapades was kind of like the same thing. Like bloodlust is kind of a dark thing, and then capades is like ice capades.
Yeah.
So I thought, wow, bloodlust capades, what a great word, and so we named the album that.
Yeah, that's an awesome album name.
Yeah, and we write a lot of horror music too. On all our albums, there are songs on there about vampires or zombies or and I mix fact with fiction on all our records in the lyrics. And some songs are extremely um, important to me and from the heart. There's a song on the Saint Tanic album that came out in 2009 for my mom when she was dying, and it's called "You Are My Light." And a song like that is straight from the heart. But then there's another song on the God Bless America album called "Sexual Abuse." And when I wrote those lyrics, I had promised the band that next rehearsal I'll have lyrics for this music. Well, I was getting ready to go to rehearsal, and it occurred to me that I hadn't written the lyrics yet. So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going to go to rehearsal, and they're going to be upset with me. So I sat down, and in about 5 minutes, I thought to myself, what's the most offensive stuff I could say in a song? And I wrote it all down, and that became the song "Sexual Abuse." It was really that easy and that quick.
Nice.
But sexual abuse in the '90s, and I'd say probably to this day, has always been a fan favorite. And it's kind of funny because I can be up on stage singing this dirty stuff to women that are sitting there with their husbands, and their husbands probably can't even talk to them the way I'm singing it, but they're having a good time and laughing and everything, and that's what it's all about. Again, and I tell people Saint Madness is a shock metal band, and you can't be a shock metal band if you don't shock people. So, sometimes we'll come up with these crazy ass songs out of nowhere, and the intention of those songs is to shock people,
Yeah.
you know. And it's not a negative thing, it's a good thing.
Yeah. That's
So we just have fun. We're about being entertainers, not rock stars. and there's a huge difference to me in the term rock star or entertainer. And an entertainer, once again, is in the service industry. An entertainer entertains other people, and I would rather be an entertainer.
You said it a long time ago when you came up with the phrase "we make evil fun,"
Hmm.
because because sometimes we do.
That's our slogan. We make evil fun. And
Well,
everything about our band is about good and evil, and kind of like being a human being. Human beings are capable of great good and great evil, and so all of our music has to do with that. And we also throw in a lot of humor, and I love to make people laugh, and so we'll definitely we have actors that come out on stage, and we have sexy ladies dance, and we have demons come out on stage, and we've got our main man is Ink Demon Gene. He's the Arizona Ink Demon, and he's this big. He's a big man, and he's a Satanist, and he comes out during the song Arizona and waves the Arizona flag, and he's totally done up as a demon, and it's funny because he'll tell you, he says, I'm a Satanist, but if you talk to this guy, he's the sweetest guy ever, and everybody who knows him, says that same thing. He's like the sweetest Satanist you'll ever meet. He's the nicest person, and but he's a prison guard, and he's this big, intimidating guy. He's got his whole head tattooed except for his face, and but he's just the best person, man. He's wonderful.
that's awesome.
You ever come out this way?
I haven't been out there in a long time.
Well,
Probably,
it's about time, don't you think?
I know.
I think it's about time.
Yeah. I need to get the hell out of Washington.
You come out here in September and go to our 25th anniversary concert.
That would be cool.
Yeah, yeah. We'll put you up at our place.
Right on. I'll have to scrape up some money.
Oh, I hear that. See, that's the other thing. Like with us, when we make a record, we sacrifice, man. We save our money, and because we don't we don't do home recording. We go to a studio, and I've worked with the same co-producer since 1996, and his name's Larry Elia, and he owns Mind's Eye Digital Recording Studios. And Larry was actually in the band Bionic Jive that was signed to Interscope Records, and when they put out their first album on Interscope, their tour was opening for Eminem when he was doing the Eminem Show record, which I think is his biggest record. And they were the opening act on that whole tour. And Larry has recorded Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Seven Dust and Jimmy Eat World, and he's got a great list of clientele. Rob Halford from Judas Priest just did a in studio interview recording at Larry's studio like a few months back, and Rob signed the door in the studio. It's really cool. And we've worked with Larry for a long, long time. Of the 11 albums we've made, we probably made 9 of them with him.
Nice. Very cool.
But we spend the money, we save the money. And it's tough when you do it like that because, look, studio time isn't, cheap. It's expensive. But for me, I want to make records that I would go out and buy, and I want to make records that when I'm too old to do this anymore, I can look back at them all and feel very proud of what I've done. I wanted to leave behind a legacy. And for me, because I'm an old school guy, I believe in going to a studio. And I respect people that do home recording, and I know there's a lot of, really good ones now because basically anybody can buy a Pro Tools and put it in their computer and stuff and learn how to do it. So it's much different than the old days, of course. But for me, because I am older, I'm just set in my ways. And for me, if I'm going to go create music, we have a rehearsal studio that we call Bad Manor, and I've had that same room since 1993. And when I go to make music, it's a job that I leave my house. You know what I mean? Like I respect people who can do it at home or rehearse at home and record at home and all that. But for me, I have to leave my home and get away from my private life when I go create music. It's better for me because when I walk in that rehearsal studio, I know I'm there to work.
Yeah.
And when I walk in the recording studio, I know I'm there to work.
Right
So
on.
we got to get you some more music, right? Because I think you only have the Bloodlustcapades music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get you some more stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely dig that.
Well, I'll do it.